world trembling on the edge of conflict, where every news broadcast echoes with fear and rivalry, something extraordinary unfolded in the heart of Thailand. Something that no diplomat, no treaty, and no war could ever achieve. It began not with words, but with a single gesture, a hug. Two queens, two nations, one frame. Miss Universe Pakistan 2025, Roma Riaz, and Miss Universe India 2025, Manika Vishwakarma. Met under the bright lights of Bangkok, and what happened next became a moment of history, a breathtaking reminder that even when the world stands divided, humanity can still unite. Welcome to Mr. Darkman TV. I am your host, Zainab Sabir, and tonight we are diving deep into a story that is both real and symbolic, a tale that blurs the line before we unfold this incredible journey of love, respect, and unity. Take a moment to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell, because this story will touch your soul and challenge the way you see borders forever. The year was 2025. The air between India and Pakistan was thick with tension. Diplomatic ties were strained. Political dialogues had frozen, and media on both sides fueled fear like wildfire. But far from the noise of New Delhi and Islamabad, in the calm, humid air of Bangkok, two young women from across the subcontinent arrived at the Miss Universe headquarters, unaware that they were about to make history. Roma Riaz, newly crowned Miss Universe Pakistan 2025, came draped in emerald silk, a symbol of Pakistan's vibrant spirit. Manika Vishwakarma, Miss Universe India 2025, wore crimson, the color of passion and pride. Their meeting wasn't planned, but fate has its own mysterious choreography. As Roma descended the grand staircase of the Miss Universe Hall, Manika turned, their eyes locking in an unspoken recognition. Two souls bound by the same history, yet separated by 77 years of political walls. The cameras paused, the chatter died, and then, with a smile that could melt ice, Roma stepped forward. Manika followed, arms open. The two embraced, a hug that spoke louder than any anthem, a hug that silenced 70 years of hostility in a single heartbeat. That photograph, two queens holding each other, one draped in green, the other in saffron, flooded the internet within minutes. Headlines around the world called it the hug that silenced the border. Yet, what the world saw as a photo was, in truth, a symbol, an archetype of healing, something psychologists would later call collective emotional transference. It wasn't politics, it was energy, a pure, unfiltered human connection that carried the pain, the loss, and the hope of millions. Both women carried stories heavier than their crowns. Roma's grandmother had fled from Amritsar to Lahore in 1947, leaving behind a home that still lived in her memories. Manika's grandfather was born in Multan, Pakistan, and crossed the border with only a suitcase and a prayer. The ghosts of partition lived quietly within them until that embrace. That day, those ghosts found peace. Roma said later in an interview, "Borders protect land, not hearts. Hearts were never meant to be divided." Manika replied softly, "When we hugged, it wasn't politics. It was peace, real, silent, and human." As their photographs circled the globe, something invisible shifted. For a brief moment, people stopped talking about missiles and started talking about miracles. Pakistani and Indian fans flooded each other's comment sections with hearts and blessings. One user wrote, "If they can hug, why can't we talk?" Another said, "Maybe beauty isn't in faces, it's in forgiveness." Air, connection, transcended nationalism. It touched something ancient, something sacred. The eternal South Asian spirit that once celebrated unity in diversity. Even the governments took notice. During the Independence Week celebrations at Wagah, for the first time in decades, Roma and Manika's picture was displayed on the LED screen between the two gates. The marching soldiers stopped for a heartbeat. The crowd went silent, then erupted into applause. It was as if the two flags, long seen as rivals, bowed in mutual respect. The wind at the border carried the faint scent of corn and chai, and for a fleeting second, the border didn't divide, it breathed. Behind the scenes, media analysts began calling the event the Bangkok Peace Effect. Psychomythologists described it as the reawakening of the sisterhood archetype, when feminine compassion rises to heal the wounds caused by masculine aggression. For centuries, mythology has portrayed women as bridges between divided worlds, from Sita and Radha to Hir and Soni, and now Roma and Manika had become the modern embodiment of that myth. In a way, they reminded the world that peace doesn't always come from treaties or negotiations. Sometimes it comes from empathy, grace, and shared courage. Back in their respective countries, the two women continued to speak of unity. Roma told a reporter in Karachi, "We may come from different lands, but we share the same sky." Manika, during an interview in Mumbai, said, "I didn't hug a rival. I hugged a sister." Their words became headlines. Their friendship became a phenomenon. And their courage became a lesson for leaders who often forget what humanity truly means. As days passed, the picture remained etched in people's hearts. Schools in Lahore and Delhi used it in lessons about peace. Social activists cited it as proof that the next generation was ready to rewrite history. Even veterans on both sides admitted that, for the first time in years, they felt hope. And though the politicians returned to their usual rhetoric, the people had already seen something more powerful. The truth that love could do what bullets never could. So tonight, as we close this chapter on Mr. Darkman TV, remember this: when Miss Pakistan, Roma Riaz, and Miss India, Manika Vishwakarma, met in Thailand, it wasn't just a meeting of two beauty queens. It was a meeting of two nations' souls. It was the rebirth of a dream once shattered by mats and mended by humanity. This story reminds us that peace doesn't need permission. It only needs people brave enough to start it. Because when humanity hugs, history heals. And that, my friends, is the real definition of beauty. Beauty that unites, uplifts, and inspires. This is Zainab Sabir, signing off from Mr. Darkman TV. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, because sometimes spreading love is the most powerful act of revolution. And until we meet again, remember, borders may divide the land, but never the soul.